Hi guys, it's Irit and I have a new video for you, and I am starting my new schedule on the HipKit new design team. So I will be here every Saturday with a video tutorial, which I'm really happy because, you know, Saturdays, weekends, so hopefully people have a bit more time to play. So yeah, you should expect that every Saturday, new video. And let's get started. So what I'm doing here is I'm gluing some die cuts to my white cardstock background. And I cut those with my Silhouette Cameo, and I used cardstock from the cardstock kit. And the September. I'm using the September kits, and I usually cut my die cuts from white cardstock because it gives me the most flexibility, but I thought it would be nice to change things up a bit, and I really like these colors, that yellow and I don't know, like a warm pink. I really like that, so I used that. And the cut files are free for everyone. You just need to have an account on the HipKit Club website, and then you can access the cut files. There are also exclusive ones for subscribers, but the ones I used are designed by Nicole from the design team, and they are free for whoever wants to use them. So while my glue is drying, I am using the stamp set that came in the color add-on for September. And it's just lovely. It's this alpha set, and some of the letters have dots and some have stripes, and it's just really cute and very versatile set. And I had to emboss it in gold because, you know, it's so pretty. So that's what I'm doing. And if I were a braver woman, then I would have done that directly on my background. But I just wanted the flexibility of moving it around. It would probably look really great if you fussy cut the words or the letters, but yeah, I'm a bit challenged when it comes to fussy cutting. So I'm just gonna cut them out as blocks. You will see that later. So I'm just embossing it, and you want to let your heat tool get nice and warm before you heat set it. And once my embossing is cool, I will add some paint. Well, color, it's not paint. And I'm gonna use the Distress markers that also came in the color kit. And I'm going to use on this layout 2 colors. The kit came with 3, but the blue wasn't really working for my color scheme. Although I think I might have added a little bit of it. Well, we'll see in the video together. But what I'm doing is I'm just applying some of the ink from the marker to an acrylic block that I use for stamping, and then I'm picking it up with my water brush. And you could completely and totally just color the letters with the marker directly, but I like having that extra bit of control and getting a little bit of variation in the color. You could do an ombre effect and just apply the color to, I don't know, the top or the bottom of the layers, and then of the letters, and then pull it with some water. But I went simple. So I colored 2 of the words in the coral shade and 2 in the cracked pistachio. I want to say crushed coral, but I don't think that's the name. So yeah, and now I'm using this photo strip kind of thing, and it's basically 3 photos that I collaged together on Photoshop, and I printed it actually on a A4 size photo paper, so that's similar to 8.5 by 11. That's, I think, in Europe or the rest of the world that is not the US. I think that's kind of a regular size. And so I print a bunch of photos on an A4 sheet of photo paper, and then I just cut out the ones I want to use. And these ones are just 3 photos that I took from the workshop I was teaching in Norway in September. So I wanted to document that. And now we'll start to play. So my glue is dry, and you can see that I just applied it to some parts of the feathers and those leafy things, because I want that dimension. I don't want everything to be completely stuck down. I want the feathers to pop up a little bit. It just gives it a more interesting look. And what I'm doing is adding some white heavy body Liquitex paint with a palette knife. It just gives it really great texture. You don't have to do this stage, but I really like the way it looks. It softens the cardstock, and when we're going to add the distress markers, it's going to give a really interesting texture to the background. So again, I'm using the markers, and I'm applying it to a bit of packaging, adding a little bit of water, and doing the oh so famous smooshing technique, one of my favorites go-to techniques, because it just gives the most beautiful random stains of watercolor. And I started with the cracked pistachio at the top, and now I'm adding the not crushed coral, I think it's abandoned coral, to the bottom. I'm kind of going with trying to match the colors to the cardstock, and that's also the reason that I matted my photo on one of the minty or more minty papers in the kit, to add that shade of mint that is similar to cracked pistachio. Tim Holtz, what are you doing to me with these names? And of course I needed some yellow in the middle, so I pulled a couple of distress inks from my stash, and I'm using, this is Squeezed Lemonade, is the kind of lighter yellow, and then the darker yellow is one of the new colors. I'm so challenged with the color names. I don't remember what it's called, but it's one of the new ones, and maybe it has some ocean theme to it, to the name. I don't know, yellow, what could it be? Anyway, something amber, maybe? I don't know. Forgive me. So I'm just adding a little bit again. I'm applying the ink to an acrylic block and then picking it up with my water brush and just adding it to some areas, and that gives me more control than the packaging technique. And it's just really fun to play around with all these beautiful, beautiful colors. And you saw that I added a little bit of blue to get kind of a deeper shade of, I guess, turquoise or aqua than the cracked pistachio by itself. So I decided I wanted to add my title there at the bottom right, but it didn't have any paint or anything. So I just want to make it more cohesive and make that area of the layout also connect with all the other stuff that's going on. So again, I'm adding some paint. You want to let the paint completely dry before you add the ink, or it'll be a bit of a mess. And you'll see in the close-ups you can get a better idea of how the ink absorbs in the paper versus the painted areas, and it just gives it a really interesting look. So I'm not going to add green, I think. I think I'm going to just stick to the yellow and the coral. And I really love that shade of coral. It's one of my favorite Distress Inks color. It's just beautiful, beautiful. And that's it. And once that's dry, I can add my title, which says "Create a Lovely Mess." And yeah, that was the workshop. We played with some Distress Inks and some packaging. So final touches, I added the giraffe. It has absolutely no connection to anything. I did not teach giraffes how to scrapbook, and I did not see giraffes in Norway, although I can only assume that there's somewhere a zoo with a giraffe in Norway. But it fit my color scheme, and it's cute, and I don't care. So that's it. I am the queen of random. And I'm adding some bits and pieces from the September kits, a couple of puffy stickers and a couple of those wood buttons, and outlining my layout. And that's it. So soon you'll see the close-ups and you can really get a better look of just how pretty all this paint and ink look. It's just so much fun, and you get such a pretty look. You can make this only with one color if this is too colorful for you. You can use just white die cuts. That would look really beautiful. That's actually what I do most of the time. But I wanted to mix it up a little bit. And that's it. So thank you so much for joining me. Please leave me a question, a comment if you have any questions. And I'll be here every Saturday. Have a lovely day. Bye.